Let's talk though now to Julia Atherley, Home Affairs correspondent at The Sun, because we were looking at a big spread in the Sun today. Migrants will have to contribute or leave Britain because it says here hard Labour. Prime Minister says he'll get tough on migrants and welfare and warns some in his party won't like it. We heard from Shabana Mahmood yesterday. We'll hear from the Prime Minister today. Julia, very good morning to you.
Morning. Thanks for having me.
Not at all. Thanks for joining us. I mean, this is the sort of the new face of reformed Labour, and I use that word advisedly because they clearly, while at the same time as accusing Reform of being a party with racist policies, are adopting most of them.
Yeah, I mean, so yeah, yesterday we had Shabana Mahmood announce that to get your indefinite leave to remain, you would have to have worked in this country, you'd have to pay national insurance, you'd have to have a high level of English, and you'd have to keep up with the law. And you're right, it's a lot of policies that are borrowed from Nigel Farage's reform. And I also think a lot of those policies are things, especially the high standard of English, that people might think, doesn't that happen already? And crucially, we've spoken about the Boris wave before, those 1.3 people that came in post-Brexit under Boris Johnson between 2021 and 2024. This won't apply, at the moment, won't apply retrospectively. So those people are still going to be here, and right. That's still a problem for Labour to face.
Sure. And I mean, they're being slightly disingenuous, Labour, as well, aren't they? Because they're making a lot of hay about the fact that, you know, Reform wants to deport your friends, your neighbours, the people that work with you, maybe even your wife or your husband, you know, where Reform have actually said, look, if people are making a contribution to society and they've been living here for quite some time, they're not going to be deported at all. They're just going to look for people who are possibly not contributing to society, who might have been on benefits for a long time, and those are the people that they're actually earmarking for deportation, aren't they?
Yeah, I mean, and also, I mean, I think that's a lot of what Shabana Mahmood was talking about yesterday, in that if you're here and you're contributing, you're employing people, and you're paying your national insurance, you're not getting benefits, then you're not going to be on their list to not get indefinite leave to remain as well. Right,
that's the point. But what I'm saying is that they're trying to put this schism between, you know, Reform voters and Reform policy. They're trying to sort of, it seems to me anyway, tell Reform voters that, you might be voting for this party, but you don't really know how terrible they are because they're actually going to do this, when in fact that's not what they're going to do.
Yeah, I mean, that was a lot of, I think we'll hear a lot of that as well in Keir Starmer's speech today.
Yeah.
About the Labour Party are really trying to position themselves as a party of unity, and, you know, Shabana Mahmood spoke about, we want to see a Great Britain, not a little England, and Keir Starmer's going to talk about division as well. I mean, that's clearly targeted at Reform, and they're saying, this is what Nigel Farage is doing, he's driving people apart, and this is what we're doing, we want to draw people together, while also, as you say, at the same time borrowing a lot of their policies.
Yes, and it's not that popular with the Labour sort of cognoscenti, if you like. I mean, there's plenty of people at the Labour conference who are not very keen on what they see as Keir Starmer's sort of shift to the right.
Yeah, I mean, especially we've seen with the benefits crackdown. So the policy announced yesterday is essentially you won't be able to get indefinite leave to remain if you claim benefits as someone who's come into this country. And we saw what happened when Keir Starmer tried to clamp down on benefits and cut down the enormous benefits bill. So, you know, he's going to face the same battle with this.
Yes. And as far as the sort of one in, one out scheme goes, and I hate calling it that because we know it's not really one in, one out, so far it's not working terribly well. They seem to have stopped talking about it. I think the number that they've sent back now is about 6. And we know from coming the other way, we've had 3, I think. Is that right? Or is there an update on that?
Yeah, no, that's right. So, yeah, and that first week we had 6 people deported or sent out on Air France flights, while we had a family of 3 come in. But you're right. I mean, I think it would work if it was properly ramped up and you could say to everybody that arrives in a small boat that you will face being deported. Right. But at the moment, as you say, 6, we had more than 1,000 people coming here on small boats over the weekend while there was a break in the weather. It's clearly not working.
No, and they also still, I mean, we've been asking for a while, they still haven't really explained what the criteria is for detaining people. So, for example, of those, say, 1,200 or so people that came over on Saturday in a bunch of boats, I mean, we don't know how many of those they've detained, and if they have detained them, why they've detained them, and why they've let other people in.
Yeah, I mean, so... and I've asked the Home Office about this a lot. They don't actually they won't tell us what the policy actually is. So you know, two people could be coming in from the same country. They could have come essentially the same routes.
Yeah.
You know, say they both come from Eritrea, and one of them could be detained and the other couldn't. All we know is they're not detained. They have a policy of detaining children. So everyone that they're detaining is over the age of 18. Right. Say they're over the age of 18.
Okay.
But I mean, that just opens up some legal challenges like the ones that we saw in the first week of the policy.
Right. And Shabana Mahmood has said in her speech yesterday that she understands that the Home Office is still not quite really fit for purpose. We're sort of echoing the words of John Reid from all those years ago. What do you think she's going to plan to do to reform the actual Home Office to make it more efficient?
Yeah, I mean, I think the reforms we saw yesterday were very similar to what she did under when she was Ministry of Justice. So that kind of having to earn your way is very similar to what she did in the prison system. So prisoners have to behave behind bars, otherwise they have to serve their entire sentence, but they can earn early release. I think that's quite similar to a lot of the language that we saw yesterday. So I think she's going to be taking a lot of her kind of tough rhetoric that we saw under when she was Justice Secretary and bringing that into the Home Office. But yeah, I guess we'll have to see. We'll have to wait and see.
We will, indeed. Good to see you. Thank you very much indeed. Julia there, Julia Atherley, Home Affairs correspondent at The Sun.